Welcome back, everybody. Silas here today. I am off on an adventure once again. Big surprise, Mr. Adventures Made from Scratch is on an adventure. I was busy filming some content for some other people, and I'm on my way home now, and I'm driving through Nebraska, I believe. I don't know exactly where I'm at right now, but on my way home there's a place, and I had several people recommend that I stop there and check it out. So I got a hold of the guy. He's got a bunch of cars, I guess, and some pretty cool stuff in there, so I'm going to stop by his place. He said I can make a video there, and maybe I'll find a souvenir or something to take home. I think I have about another hour and a half till I get there, so I'll see you then. We made it. He said I could start just about anywhere and walk around the place, so I figured I'll take a tour. This place is in southern Nebraska, almost on the border of Kansas. I have his info. I will show you that later in the video in case you see something you can't live without. Check out this short bed. Not a bad looking truck. Pretty sharp, really. It is a little bit windy out here. Oh, check out this travelall. Man, there's all sorts of good stuff already. It's a little bit windy out here. It's a little bit chilly. So if my voice is shaky, that's why. Oh, there's an old travelall. Years ago, we crushed out a place, and I think it was St. John or Hudson, Kansas, and he had a real nice travelall of this body style. I mean, it was beautiful, and we needed one more car for the load to finish a load of crushed cars. And he said, you know what, nobody's ever going to want those ugly things, go ahead and crush it. That was about 20 years ago. No, not that long. It was about, well, I guess it was 20 years ago. Time flies when you're having fun. And we crushed the thing, but I always think about that thing and how nice it was. Somewhere I still have the emblems that I pulled off of it. That's wild. I can't spend too much time on any one car though, or else we'll be here all day long, and we ain't got time for all that. Check out this Fleetline. That's not a bad looking one right there. It's got all the chrome on it still. Wow. Dodge 500. I had a chance to buy one of these that had the diesel in it here not too long ago, but I offered the guy $2,000 for it, and he wanted $4,500, so we just couldn't meet in the middle on it, so I had to pass on it. International, bunch of, looks like Ford cabs. I've got about a 3-hour drive left yet today, and it'll be dark here in about 3 hours, so I know I'm going to get home after dark, which is okay, but I don't want to get home too late after dark. What's back here in the trees? This has been here for a little while. What is it? Chevrolet. This was an unexpected stop. I actually did not plan on stopping here today. Originally, I was up here, I was way up north actually, filming some other stuff. And I knew I was coming through Nebraska, and I was supposed to film some other stuff at a different location. A bunch of old military equipment in a barn, and that deal fell through. And so I was recommended to stop by here. So I got a hold of him, and he said, yeah, stop by, check it out. Bunch of old stuff here. Check out this body. I like these old style cabs. I don't know, I don't think I would ever do anything with one of them. You know, actually, what I would do with one of these, I have one of these. I need to go ahead and get it out and do this with it now that I have this idea. But that would make a really cool outhouse, wouldn't it? To put out behind my junkyard cabin. How crazy would that be to have a Model TT outhouse? Yep, that's what I'm going to do with mine. Mine's the C cab. It doesn't have this section in it. It's just the C like that. So I'll have to do a little bit of modification, but that would be really cool. An old coupe body. Oh, that's a short bed, isn't it? That is a short bed. Short bed Chevrolet. What's this? Is this a Buick or Oldsmobile grill? Something like that? I have one just like that. I don't remember what it came off of. I don't see a ID tag. What is this? Tell me in the comments. What is this thing? I'm pretty sure that's like a Buick or Oldsmobile or Pontiac or something like that. This is what you have to do when you don't have a whole lot of space, is you have to stack your cars up. I'm getting to that point now on my 20 acres. I'm not there yet, but we're getting there closer every day. But you know, they're just old parts cars, so it's not that big of a deal. I wonder if he has any vagabonds. This is all the oddball stuff it looks like. Frasers, Kaisers. I don't see any vagabonds or travelers. Ambassador. Oh, what's that? By Riley Columbus. It's got a Pontiac logo on it, but that's not a Pontiac. That's a Rambler. Some Studebakers. You got a real cool place here. This place is... I was told he had good quality stuff. Check that out. I've got one of those somewhere. I've got everything somewhere. There was a toss-up between this place and there was one other guy I could have went and saw. But I talked to several people and they all said that this one was a way better place with way better stuff. So I'm not disappointed, that's for sure. This is real cool. Check out this homemade Studebaker truck. Wow. They definitely had an imagination on that one. Doesn't look half bad. I mean, it's a little bit on the weird side, but at least the body lines somewhat line up. Hudson. I like these exploration videos where I just go out and look at old cars. I know a lot of you guys like the crushing videos and the treasure hunt videos and that sort of stuff, and I'll still keep doing those, but don't worry, I'm never gonna quit doing those. I just like to change it up every now and then. So this is an exploration video. I don't know if and when I'll be up this direction again, so I better do it while I'm here. Check out this Studebaker wagon, Wagonaire. That's really neat there with the sliding window, or the sliding roof, I mean. I've got a couple of these, but they're not nearly this complete. Here's a Lark wagon. I've got a couple of those too. Once again, not nearly as nice as his is. Is this a business coupe? This is a Studebaker bullet nose business coupe. My dad has a business coupe, but it's a little bit older. I think it's a 47, so it doesn't have the bullet nose. Wow, that's pretty neat. I've never seen another Studebaker business coupe. My dad's is pretty nice. I say pretty nice. It's an old field car, but it was out in the sand where stuff doesn't rust that much. Let's see here, what direction? Guess we'll do these right here and then we'll go back there and look at those. Oh, a two-door. You don't see these that are two-door very often. There was that auction out in western Kansas where they had several of these that sold. If that would have been closer, I would have bought at least one of them. Another Travelall. This one's a school bus. And what is this? I don't know what it is. Does it have a name? I don't know. What is it? Something on the dash maybe? No? Well guys, I need your help again. What is this? It looks... I don't know. I don't recognize this one. It's not that often that something is just totally unrecognizable to me. I'm kind of lost. I don't see any logos on it or any names. I wonder if the body tag's on it. Hudson right there. Oh, that's pretty cool. No wonder I don't recognize it. I don't have any Hudson this old. Okay, so we'll check those out in a second. Right now, let's go back here, check out the grain trucks. You know me, I like my grain trucks. Here's a cab forward. Pretty clean looking one. Well, it's got a little bit of damage, but still a pretty good looking one. I need a yellow hood. I have a 62 or 61, I'm sorry, 61 Chevy grain truck that I have just the nose off of it, and I got the whole hood, and the hood's a real nice hood, which is worth way more than cutting off for a nose. So I don't want to cut it, but now I need a yellow hood to replace it to be able to sell the rest of the nose. But it doesn't look like he has any yellow ones in this area, at least. Good thing is you can use a 60 all the way up to a 66 and they'll fit right on there. 51 or 2 Ford, 49, 50, somewhere in there Ford. 57 or 8 International, jail bar Ford. '52 or 3, somewhere around there, Chevy. C-Series. I keep hoping these series will catch on. I've got a couple of these that are pretty nice trucks. I keep hoping one of these days that they'll pick up in popularity. And you guys know me, when I go places, I like to buy souvenirs. So I may have to find something to take home today. I don't know what. I'll check this out. A white superpower. You don't see these too often. Really neat trucks. Once again, I know you guys don't like my crushing stories. Some of you do, some of you don't. But years ago, we crushed out a salvage yard in Newton, Kansas, and they had a white superpower semi in there, and we crushed it. A Jeep, that's neat. Oh, check out this wagon. Somebody put a fuel truck bed on. Oh, look at those wings. That is really sharp. I like that. What do we got back here? Some wagons. Well, this is a two-door Ford wagon. You don't see those super often. A ranch wagon. You see them every now and then. I've had a few of them, but still a pretty cool car. Pretty rare. I've got a bunch of four-door ranch wagons. This is a country sedan here. I keep having this really crazy idea that one of these days I'm going to make me a camper out of an old station wagon, like a camper trailer. I haven't got it done yet, but I keep thinking about it. This looks like all early to mid 50s Ford stuff, like 55, 56, in that range. Oh, there's a Courier. I wonder if he has the rear window for it for my Courier. No, it doesn't look like it. I've got a 53 or 4 Ford Courier. No, 50. Oh man, I'm getting my years all mixed up today. I have a 55 Courier that's missing the rear glass. The rest of it's there, but it's a hard piece to find. Courier only. Man, this stuff just keeps going. I kind of wish I had that little propane tank over there. I already have one though, and I think it'll work for the idea I have in my head. So we'll do that another day. Actually, I think before we go that way, we're gonna go back up here and get all these old trucks, and then we'll go up that way. Well, we didn't make it to the trucks yet. Check this thing out. This little Suburban. I've got one of these buried in the back. I need to dig it out now that I see this one out in the open. Man, that's neat. That would make a really sick camper right there, wouldn't it? Don't you think? I think actually mine is more this body style here, a little bit newer I think, but I can't remember now. But either way, that would make a sick camper. He's got 3 of them here. Out here in the farm country, there's still quite a bit of this stuff around. Some of these cars he's selling complete, some of them he's parting out. You just have to contact him and see what is what on anything you see. DeSoto's. I like these DeSoto grills. They're fairly high dollar piece. People take those and they graft them into other cars, especially Chevys. I've sold pretty much every DeSoto grill I have that has teeth on it. The 54 DeSoto is the really popular one. I've even sold a few of these Plymouth grills, that center section, and they graft that into other stuff. Anymore, it seems like I sell a lot of stuff that way, that it doesn't matter what it originally fit, it's whatever they want to stick it on. Check out the fins on this baby. That's got such good body lines to it. I mean, they're kind of, in a way, they're kind of an ugly car, but at the same time, they're such a cool car. What do we got next to it here? Look at that, man, I just love those fins. This is his Chrysler section. I wonder if he has any 51 to 52 Windsor Deluxes. I need a hood ornament. I have one, but I'd like to have another one just in case, because they have a little circle ring on them. Instead of a head, it kind of has wings. The real short wings are about this long, and then a little circle right here. And they break really easy. That dog just scared me. Came out of nowhere. What you doing? Hey, fella. Don't see any of those hood ornaments though. They're a hard piece to find. They only put them on Windsor Deluxes and Saratogas. 51 to 52. Now we can get to the trucks. Fella, that's a big log to be carrying around. You want me to play fetch with you? Not right now, buddy. I'm on a mission. I'm gonna run out of daylight. We got Fords, we got Chevys. More Chevys. That's a Cheyenne there. More Chevys. Looks like we got some bump sides. We've got some dent sides. These dent sides, parts on these have really picked up, and even the bump sides. Whole trucks still aren't selling that good unless they're really nice or something unusual, but parts off of them is starting to pick up pretty good. This is an extended cab here. I've got a couple extended cabs I need to dig out and sell because those are somewhat popular right now. I don't know what it is about visiting other people's junkyards or salvage yards, whatever you want to call them. I mean, anytime I want to go look at old cars, I can just walk out back and look at old cars, but going and looking at somebody else's old cars is always so much better. Check this baby out. This is a cool one. I've got, if I can get out there and get it, I know where there's one of these that was a school bus originally, kind of like that yellow, that orange or yellow, whatever color it was, Travelall, but it's one of these. Really rough, but it's still a neat piece, and the price is right, but it is buried back in the trees. So the guy's gonna have to take equipment out there, and it's a long drive from home. More old trucks. Good looking stuff. Okay. Now we made it through there. Now we can head back over that direction. What is this? It's a homemade deer blind. It would work for that. That'd make a cool little cabin. I need to see if I can find some of those at home. I probably wouldn't put quite as many windows in it, but that is kind of a neat idea. What do we got hiding in here? Bunch of engine parts, transmission parts, heater cores, some grills. Some good stuff in here, but nothing I can't live without. Like I always say, you always have to check the piles of stuff, because sometimes you can find some really good stuff mixed in the pile somewhere. Bunch of parts engines, bunch of doors, the rear quarter off of something, fenders. See if there's anything. I gotta find a souvenir. Can't leave without something. I'm not the sort of person that has to spend money all the time, but I feel like I have to take a souvenir home. The souvenir I got up north was a 34 Chevy grill. Really, really neat piece. Found it in an old shed. He didn't want to sell it at first, but it wasn't for a Ford, and everything else there was Ford, so he went ahead and sold it to me. We've got doors and fenders and more doors and hoods. I wonder if he has any of my deck lids that have the spare tire cut out. Your old Plymouths and Chryslers, like your Valiants, and some of your big body Chryslers had them too. Don't see any. Doesn't mean there's not some here. What do we got here? A pair of Savoy fins. That's kind of neat. I don't know what a guy would do with just the fins though. Looks like they're cut off to save and sell to somebody that needs them. But for making furniture, I like them to be a little bit more complete. The hole back into the car. He does some of the furniture stuff here where he cuts the noses and whatnot off if needed. But more often than not, he tries to hang on to the stuff. He's a little bit more humane than I am. I'll see right here, this one's been cut off. But as you can see, I mean, it's kind of a beat up truck. The truck itself isn't anything grand, so why not cut the nose off? I wonder if he has any 261s. I'll have to ask him. I've got a buddy that needs some 261s. I had some, sold them all to a subscriber, and then my buddy came out a week later and said he needed some, so then I felt bad. Oh, is this a 9-footer? This is. Check this out, guys. This is a 9-foot bed on this one. These are a pretty rare piece right here. You don't hardly ever see those anymore. I have had a couple of those, but man, I haven't had one for a long, not since I started YouTube anyway. I haven't had one. That's a 5-window truck even. Huh. Interesting, interesting. You say you just got a bunch of these in, a bunch of 41 to 46 or 7 Chevy cars. He wasn't kidding. He did get a bunch of them in lately. Rows of them. I've got that business coupe, 46 or 7, and then a matching coupe with all the parts that the business coupe needs, and I keep thinking that I'll find a home for it, but nobody really wants these. These are kind of the, other than the Fleetlines, these are kind of the oddballs of the Chevy community that nobody really wants. I've got a pretty nice two-door just like this one that came in not too long ago, but I haven't really had too much interest in it yet. I say that, and now I'm going to have somebody message me on it, and it's going to sell before this video comes out. Happens all the time. This one's got wraps on it. That's neat. Had a visor on it at one time too, what's left of it. Looks like an old Fulton. Had the hood ornament, the deluxe hood ornament. This was a optioned out car. It's got the front wraps on it. I'll have to take a picture of that and send it to Dead Wrench, my buddy. Lots of neat stuff. Well, it looks like we're back to the Ford section now. This is supposed to be the late model area over here. You guys know me. You know what I do with late model stuff. But this is the Fords over here. I just picked up a couple 59s the other day, a 2-door and a 4-door. Lots of good parts on them, but cars aren't worth fixing. They're really rusty. See, I like these trucks. And like that there, I think those make really good looking couches, but they sell. They just take time to sell. They're not a real popular item. Now these trunks, I sell those pretty regular. Oh wow, here's some cool Chevys back here. See, now this is more up to my speed as this generation. I actually have a guy needing a 4-door of this body style, of the fastback or whatever you call it. I'll have to tell him about that one. He's a serious buyer, so he won't waste the guy's time. And that's another thing, guys. If you're just going to waste this guy's time, please don't call him up. I mean, if you're a serious buyer and you really want to buy something, he gave me his phone number. I'll give it to you here in a little bit when I get back to the truck. But please, I feel bad if you guys call and waste his time, because I'm putting my reputation on the line. Well, that's a 2-door, 53. But you know how it is. If you recommend somebody and then they do a bad job, it kind of comes back on you too. So I'm kind of the liaison, the what's it called, mediator between you and him. So please don't waste his time. That's kind of an interesting grill. 2-door hardtop on this one. I don't know that I recognize that grill. What's different about this car? There's something different about this that's not jiving with what I'm used to. I don't know, maybe it's just the way the bumper guard is. I don't know, there's something about that I don't know. It's weird. What do we got? Not a bad looking car. This dog is gonna follow me everywhere I go. Keeping an eye on me. Guard dog. What do we got back here? A few more of the early to mid 40s it looks like. Yeah. This in here is neat. This is a coupe. Is this called a coupe? I don't know what you're supposed to call this, because I have the one that's a business coupe, and so I assume the other one's just a regular coupe. I don't know. And if I don't show you guys these cars, I'll get tons of comments saying, well, why didn't you show us those? We like those too. I'm just not into the 70s and 80s stuff, but I'm here, so why not? Ford Courier. What's this wagon over here? Is this a Torino wagon or big body wagon? I can't tell. Without the front clip, it's kind of hard to see what it is. Yeah, Torino wagon. I thought it was. I thought it looked a little bit smaller, but you never know. Back onto the Fords. Lots of good stuff here. He doesn't really advertise a whole lot, is what he was telling me. It's just kind of word of mouth. So hopefully you guys will see something you can use, and you can call him up and work out a deal, and he can make a little bit extra money, and you guys can get some parts that you're looking for. Because you know me, I never seem to have time to pull and sell parts because I'm always out filming and doing other things. So everybody's always asking me, where can I get old parts? So that's part of the reason why I'm here today, is showing you where you can get some old parts. Look at this Monterey. That's another one that we've got one somewhere. out in the pile. I think there's a car stacked on top of it at our yard. Oh, look at this Montclair. See, now that's a good looking car. I've got that 56 Phaeton. I call it a photon, like a photon torpedo, but I think it's actually pronounced Phaeton. Look at that thing. That's just such a good looking nose on that car. This car is all still together, so I'd feel bad cutting that one up. It's pretty nice, but we got an N series back there. Just a handful of frames and truck beds and whatnot around here. What's this one here? Mercury Montclair with the roll down back window. What's this two-door in front of it? This is a Marauder. Wow, you don't see Marauders that often. Montclair Marauder. We got bucket seats now, a bench seat. Still a neat car. We skipped a few over here. It's turning to mud. It was frozen this morning. Now it's getting muddy. Got a Galaxy 500 two-door. What's this? Another Galaxy 500 two-door. Shoebox two-door. Oh, I saw that one already from the other side. Another two-door. Bunch of two-doors in this area. Oh, that's a two-door up on top too. That's a lot of two-door cars. Well, I think we're about done in this area, so we'll work our way up here, see what else cool stuff we can find. What's in the pile? Don't see anything yet. Good looking GMC nose. Chevy truck. What motor's in this one? Looks like a 235. Yeah, it's just a 235 there. S10s. Looks like a bunch more old ones up here. Now here's a pile of noses. Anything super cool? Got a Chevy truck. Couple cars. Nothing I can't live without. What is that? Is this an MG or something? I don't know what this is. A Volkswagen? Homemade job? I really don't know. It's neat though. Huh. If you know what that is, if that's a factory built something, let me know, because I don't know. Body. Bunch more noses that are cut off. There we go. Is that a 60 Cadillac? Yeah, it's a 60 Cadillac. What's left of one anyway. VWs. Is that a Willys? That is a Willys. There we go. Oh, it's the wrong year. I need a Willys hood, but I need the one that has the big beak thing in the front of it. Bummer. I thought I finally found what I needed today. A Saab. You don't see those too often. There's an MG. Yeah, these Saabs, I've got one of these. Same color as this one even. And then I've got a red one that actually ran and drove when we got it, but we stuffed it full of iron and stacked it in the pile. They're just neat little cars, I think. Corvette. Is this a Metro? Yeah, I think this is international. What they call these, the Metro Mite, Mini Metro, something like that. I can't remember what it was now. Pontiacs, Oldsmobiles, Buicks. Neat stuff. This is what everybody says I should do with my stuff. Get it all lined up nice and neat and organized, but I don't like it organized. I like looking at other people's organized stuff, but my own stuff, I don't like it to be organized. I'm just weird like that. I love this trunk on this one here. I've got one of those, and the guy cut it off for me. He was crushing the car out in western Kansas, and I said, hey, can you cut the trunk off? Well, he cut it right here. I wanted the whole trunk to make something out of it, but cut off like it is, all it's good for is hanging on the wall. So that was a bummer, but life goes on. The Matador. Wow, you used to see them way more often than you do these days. but they're getting kind of hard to find. That's the one with the safety bumpers, whatever they're called. They made a little bit earlier one of these that didn't have those safety bumpers on it. Oh wow, a bunch more. 41 to 47. Bunches of them. Here's all the fleet lines though. Fleet Masters, fleet lines. Man, these are good looking cars. I like these cars. I would never put the effort into fixing one just because it's not my favorite car, but I can definitely appreciate the styling on these fleet lines. More GMs, the Sabres, Bel Airs. Check out the taillights on this one. Oldsmobile. That's a good looking one. There's a wagon. Is that a Pontiac wagon? Check this one out, guys. Oh, look at this starchy. Oh man, I'm getting too excited now. All the cool ones are up here in the front corner. Look at those fins on that one. Man, that is a good looking car. This wagon has the same style of fins. That is a really good looking car right there. I like that wagon. Let's get over here. A Buick, a Sabre, this Bel Air. What is this? Another Chevy. Another Chevy. Cadillac. Pontiac. Another fleet line. Man, he's got the market cornered on fleet lines. Some more Star Chiefs with those funky tail fins. I don't think I've ever had one of those, not since I was a kid and my dad was crushing them anyway. Now here's another one right here, another wagon. 2 wagons. That is so far out. Man. I like this black one though. There's just something about this car. That door doesn't want to cooperate. I don't want to force it open. I'm not big on the interior. The interior doesn't do nothing for me, but the outside styling of this car, I just really like that. And the big old grill in them. Man, I don't know. It's tempting. I don't have my trailer though, so it helps remove some of the temptation for me. Stacked a little bit precarious up there. More tail fins. Wow, all sorts of good stuff in here. I am definitely glad that I listened to the recommendation, Dynaflow. So I'm glad I listened to the recommendation to come here instead of the other place I was thinking about going to, because this is definitely some good stuff. I got so excited by the wagon I didn't even see the convertible. Of course, I'm not a convertible person, but I can appreciate it anyway though. It's good looking cars. There's a 58 Chevy and it looks like an Edsel. One of these cars does not quite belong in the GM section. Oops, sorry dog. I'm not going to play fetch with you. I know you want me to, but just can't do that. Man, I'll tell you what. Those Catalina wagons, I'm going to have to ask on them. I don't know. I probably shouldn't mess with them, but I'm going to at least ask. I'll do that. Got a few more cars up here to go through. He's got a real sharp 57 in the building. He said I could show you guys, so I'll do that, and then I'll ask him on those and see what he says. More Fords. Whoops, stepped in a hole. More Chevys. There's a coupe. Is it a coupe or a business coupe? That's a coupe. It's got a back seat. That's the only way I know to tell the difference on a lot of these, is if they don't have a back seat, they're a business coupe usually. Bunches of good Chevy parts here, that's for sure. This one fell. Lots of good ones. Oh, here's a bunch of cabs. You know me and cabs. Bunch of them here. Already off, ready to go. Someday I'll get organized enough to where I have my cabs off and ready to go too. Someday. In my mind anyway. Headlight bezels galore. Bunches of them. Check that out up there. The remnant of a 57. He said he just got this bubble top Impala. Pretty rough, but he got it for scrap price. And there's a lot of good stuff there still. And plus, the tub is maybe worth something being a bubble top Impala. It's one of those things that there's not that many of them left out there. Here's a couple noses pre-cut. Some old grills. And bunches more parts. Here's his 57 here. This one's not for sale. This is a good looking car. All original still as far as the paint. Of course, as soon as I walk in here, the air compressor kicks on. Always. That thing doesn't want to shut off. But look at this car. Still the original steering wheel, dash. Just a good looking car. Look at the paint on it. I mean, perfect patina. Got the fender skirts. This is such a good looking car. All original car. I'm not a big 55 to 57 person. They're not my favorite body style ever, but this one here is nice. I love it when they're all original like this and they have the blemishes in the paint, but they're not just falling in half, you know? If you're gonna do a patina ride, this is the one to do a patina ride on right here. Good looking car. This right here is what I'm getting ready to do at my place. I'm gonna be stacking all my noses that I cut off. I've got a bunch of tin that I've saved over the years. I'm gonna lay it out on the ground. Keeps the grass from growing too crazy anyway. Well, it looks like I'm going to strike out on my spare tire deck lid. And it's not very often that I strike out on souvenirs. There's lots of neat stuff here, but it's nothing I would want for myself. I did pick up that 34 Chevy grill up north though, so I guess I can be happy with that. Wow, bunches of stuff. Part of me wishes I was this organized, but then part of me is like, you know what, when you're organized, you know what you have most of the time, but when you're disorganized, every time you go out in the yard, it's a new surprise. Look at that, what's it say? Acorn Fertilizer Company. Well, I think I just about covered the whole place. He's got a bunch more parts stashed around inside the buildings, but I don't really like showing too much of what people have inside of buildings because it just always makes me a little bit leery. I don't normally, when people come out to my place and want to take pictures, I never let them show what's inside the building, so I don't like to do that to other people either. Some little tailgates. Well guys, I am on the road again. I didn't find anything I couldn't live without. I did like that wagon. And we talked about the wagon, and he told me a price on it. Said he might take a little bit less if I was buying it for myself, which I am. But I don't have my trailer. If I had my trailer, I probably would have bought it anyway. But I don't know. I'll have to think about it. But anyway, if you want to contact him, here's his business card. You can give him a holler if you saw anything in this video that you're interested in. Like I say, some of the cars are parts cars. Some of the cars he's selling whole. Please be respectful. Don't call him in the middle of the night or something like that. Don't be rude about it. I let my dad's phone number slip one time, and somebody called him at like 3 o'clock in the morning one time. Just don't do that. But anyway, I am headed back home. I've got that noisy 34 grill in the back seat. I guess that's my souvenir for this trip. That thing is going to be so annoying, and I got 3 hours to go still. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one. The wagon was definitely my favorite. Yeah, the Plymouth wagons were pretty cool too. There's a lot of cool wagons out there. But let me know in the comments which one was your favorite. Stay tuned for the next adventure. I'm not sure what's coming up next. Got lots of stuff going on this year, so there's gonna be quite a bit. Anyway, as always, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. And remember to get out there, find yourself an adventure. You can't let me have all the adventures. You gotta get some for yourself. We'll see you next time. Oh man, I forgot just how terrible the highways were in Nebraska. They do not maintain their highways, that's for sure. Absolutely horrible roads, super bumpy, super rough riding. And then when you have this stuff in the back, it makes it even worse. Rattling. This is quite the annoying drive home, but I'm gonna make it. We're almost to freedom. almost to freedom. Oh, that is so much better now that we're in Kansas. It's so much quieter and less bumpy.